Did the Chicago Bears make the right decision by trading for wide receiver Keenan Allen? Let's talk about this, people. What is going on, y'all? Phosphorus all back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to really dissect this move, this blockbuster move that just happened. I gave you guys my initial reaction to the news in my previous video. Now I'm actually going to just breathe a little bit and sit back and really break this move down, digest it, and tell you guys if this was the right decision by the Chicago Bears. All right, so let's just recap real quick. The Bears traded for wide receiver Keenan Allen from the Chargers for a 4th-round pick. Okay, that was the move. And we all know, as I explained in my last video, the reason why is because the Chargers asked Keenan to restructure his contract, to which he said, no thank you, until they traded him. And the Bears have a lot of cap space to be able to absorb that. So contractually, let's start there. Keenan Allen has 1 year remaining on his current contract, after which he will therefore then require a new contract. Now, I'm assuming the Bears only traded for Keenan knowing that they will probably extend him. All right, that's fine. The biggest thing with Keenan Allen that, I have is age, right? Keenan Allen is 31 years old. All right, 31 years old. Very young in real life, but in football life, not so much. All right. Now, he was still uber productive last year, over 1,200 receiving yards, over 100 catches. Like, the dude can still ball. He's still in his prime, but he's probably on the back end of it. So in that aspect, I will say, hey, Keenan Allen isn't really a guy who's got, 10 years left in this league. He's probably got 5. And so that is a downside of having Keenan Allen. Again, he's still in the prime of his career, but on the back end of it. Okay? So when you look at the fact that the Bears probably could have signed a younger receiver, that probably would have made more sense. But I will tell you this much. Calvin Ridley, a guy who I wanted, he's 29. Not that much younger. So point is, who is really out there? Mike Evans was gone, right? He re-signed back with the Bucs. T. Higgins got tagged, and Michael Pittman went back to the Colts. So really the only guy left, as I mentioned, was Ridley, who's also 29, so the age gap isn't really that much. And yeah, I wanted a Curtis Samuel, but Keenan Allen is light years better than him. All right, so in that aspect of it, yeah, Ryan Poles got the best option on the board, and he really wasn't even on the board. He traded for him. So I like that aspect of it, but the age is definitely concerning. So I have 3 kind of main takeaways here from the decision of trading for Keenan Allen. Number 1, Ryan Poles wants to trade down for number 9. The Bears have the number 9 pick in this year's draft as well as the number 1 overall pick. We'll keep that number 1 pick conversation aside for a sec. But number 9, he could draft a receiver at 9. And that could still very well be the case. And in fact, if he does do that, if we do stick at 9 and take a Malik Neighbors or a Rome Odunze or somehow land Marvin Harrison Jr., I would be ecstatic through the roof because that's a young receiver that has 10, 15 years in this league, right? That you want to build with your young quarterback, whoever that may be. But my gut tells me Ryan Poles wants to trade down from 9 because the Bears don't have a lot of draft picks, and now they just gave up another one and a 4th-round pick so that he could trade down and accumulate more picks. All right? If they didn't trade for Keenan, they would have been kind of forced to take a receiver, and they couldn't trade down from 9. And so now I think Ryan Poles is going to trade down from number 9, and he is going to get more picks that way. Yes, you could trade down from number 1, but let's not focus on that. So that was the first thing. He's going to trade down from number 9. That's what this trade tells me. Number 2, this is a win-now move. You do not trade for Keenan Allen if you do not think this team is ready for the next step, right? Ready to go from a 7-10 team to a 10-7 team to a playoff team to potentially more than that. You do not trade for Keenan Allen if you are rebuilding. No, the Bears are past rebuilding. They are now ready to sort of contend at least for a playoff spot. And that is interesting because when you take a look at the quarterback situation, hey, are you drafting a rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams? Are you rolling with Justin Fields? who, you know, has been up and down in his career in terms of play. What are you doing? Either which way, you are trying to win right now. And don't say you can't win with a rookie quarterback. CJ Stroud just led the Texans to the playoffs. Don't say you can't win with Justin Fields because he just had his best year of his career. DJ Moore did with Justin Fields. So he could probably do a similar thing with Keenan Allen, hopefully. So both have their advantages, right? To keeping Fields or taking Caleb. But this is a win now move. And so that's what this tells me is Ryan Poles is all in to try to improve and go for next year. And finally, that first point that I made about Bears want to trade down, I think they want to go ahead and trade down for an edge. So now that free agency is kind of, you know, sort of wrapped up here, I don't expect too many other moves. The only questions left on the roster are edge, right? We need more pass rushers. Yeah, the quarterback decision is still left, but again, we'll talk about that later. I believe Ryan Poles is going to take a pass rusher or two or multiple in the draft. I think that is the position he's looking to target. Before this trade, I would have said wide receiver for sure, and he would have probably been beholden to it, but now I think he's going to go ahead and trade down and take some pass rushers. And again, he's going to trade down and get multiple picks so that he can go from having 4 or 5 picks to having 7, 8, maybe 9 and 10. And so I think that is the position to look at in the draft is edge rusher. That is what I think Ryan Poles is going to aim for. So those are my 3 main takeaways here from the Keenan Allen decision. Ultimately, Keenan Allen being a guy that, you know, was not available, but still the best guy that you could get. I liked that from Ryan Poles. Remember, because I told you, you would have had to overpay for a Calvin Ridley. We got $92 million from the Titans. And you gave up only a 4th round pick. I know a 4th round pick is a decent pick, but it's not a 1st or 2nd round pick. So you give up a 4th round pick for Keenan Allen, and you didn't have to shell out all of this big money. The downside is, again, that he is an older receiver. But hey, maybe in the draft you could still address wide receiver. You could still do some things. But now you're not forced to take a receiver in the draft. Now you can take other different positions. Now you can trade down from 9. So overall, folks, I'm not saying this is an absolute slam dunk home run because it would have been the case if Keenan Allen was 25 and not 31. But this is still a very solid move, knowing that wide receiver 2 was a huge need. And Keenan Allen completely fills that spot and more. And you get flexibility in the draft. So overall, I think it was the right decision by the Chicago Bears. Now we just have to see how this plays out. But DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, that is one sick wide receiver duo the Bears have, one of the best in the NFL. So I can't wait to watch this duo next year. Let me know what you guys think about this move. I know Keenan Allen's a little older, but I explained all the points about why I think it was probably the right move based on who was available and who was out there. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Leave a comment down below.